Hi, everybody. I'm here. It's me, your favorite food reviewer and Superman expert. Hello. Yeah. Earlier today, I did a Superman snack review. Now I'm going to talk about Superman. Superman was created on April 4th, 1938, by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. They wanted to come up with a new character for a comic strip. So they wanted to make a character that was tell that was an evil Superman called Ryan of the Superman, and he was an evil mad scientist that used telekinetic powers to hurt people. But then either Jerry Siegel or Joe Schuster said, "Why not make him a good guy instead of a bad guy?" They go, "That's a good idea." So, Happy New Year to you too. So they decided to make him a hero instead of a villain. I think he's better as a hero instead of a villain. Yeah. Instead of giving him telekinetic powers, they gave him a lot of powers like flying, X-ray vision, heat vision, invulnerability, telekinetic power. No, not telekinetic powers. Uh, Telescopic powers, microscopic powers, uh, super speed, and everything. Hi, Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, super speed, super strength, heat vision, freezing breath, the whole works. And he became the first superhero. Yeah, back in 1938. And then in the 1940s, they decided to put Superman in movie serials, played by Kirk Allen. Kirk Allen was the first actor to play Superman on screen. Yeah, they did like I would say 7 or 8 begonia. No, they did like 7 or 8 or 9. Uh, they did like 8 or 9 um, theatrical shorts on. Then they then the next year they did Ant-Man versus Superman with Kirk Allen, and they decided to put Lex Luthor in Ant-Man versus Superman. Yeah, Lex Luthor was the first villain to ever be featured in Superman comics in the Superman Kirk Allen serials. And then later on, when TV started, they wanted to do Superman TV show. It was cool seeing your bedroom on Instagram. Looks like a great room. Oh, thanks. I try my best. I try my best to make my room look cool. So where was I? Oh yeah, they decided to make Superman a TV icon too. They held auditions for. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I got those stuff on either Christmases, birthdays, or just collecting them randomly. Yeah, they decided to make him a TV star too. So they held auditions for who would play Superman, and actor George Reeves came in, and they decided that he was the best choice for Superman in the movies. Well, they did versus Superman versus the unknown people first. Then they went to the series, which lasted 6 seasons from 1952 to 1958. Thank you. I try my best. I try my best to make my place look nice. um, I don't know. Yeah, it lasted from 19. 52 to 1958, 6 seasons. They decided to cancel the series. I think I guess to low ratings, or the show wasn't that popular anymore. Yeah. In the year after that, George Reeves couldn't find any more work. I think he was typecast as Superman, so they decided I so he couldn't find more work in either TV shows or movies. So some people think that Some people think that George Reeves killed himself. Some people think he was murdered. I don't know. That story was featured on Unsolved Mysteries, and it was made into a theatrical movie, Hollywoodland, with Ben Affleck playing George Reeves. So, and then they did a spin-off called Superboy, which only lasted the pilot. It didn't. And then they did another series called Super Pup, which didn't, which got scrapped. Well, they filmed the pilot of Super Pup, but then it wasn't popular enough, so they decided to scrap that as well. Let me see. Then in the 60s, they went from the Fleischer cartoons to the 1966. No, that's Christopher Reeve. I'm getting to that. Yeah. Let's see. 1966 cartoons. And then in the 70s, they wanted to put Superman on the big screen. They went through a lot of auditions with actors. I heard that Robert Redford was going to be cast as Superman, Clint Eastwood. Then they decided to use Christopher Reeve, an unknown actor at the time from New York. Then he became Superman with Margot Kidder's Lois Lane, Perry White. Jackie Cooper from The Little Rascals as Perry White, Mark McClure as Jimmy Olsen, and Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. Let me see. And then they went on to do 3 more sequels: Superman 2, Superman 3, which my parents were watching the day I was born. That's how I became a Superman fan, an expert. And then Superman 4, which came out in 1987, Superman 4, Quest for Peace, with Mario Hemingway. And I don't think that movie was that good. And then they did the Superboy series from 1991, I think, or 92, 98. Yeah, 1988 to 1992 is when they did the Superboy TV series, which I have. Yeah. Hayes Newton was in the first season, and Gerard Christopher was in the second, third, and fourth season. Then that got canceled. And then a year after that, in 1993, they did Lois and Clark, the New Adventures of Superman, which lasted 4 seasons from 1993 to 1997. And then in 1995, Christopher Reeve was in a horse riding contest, and he got thrown off his horse and broke his neck, got paralyzed from the neck down. Yeah. And then there wasn't a Superman. The Smallville series with Tom Welling and Kristen Crook, or whatever. That lasted from 2001 to 2011. That's the longest running Superman series ever in Superman history. And then in 2006, they did Superman Returns with Brandon Routh or Ruth or whatever his name is. And then in yeah, 2015, they did Supergirl series on. It started on they did the first season in on CBS, and then on the CW they went to no wait, and then after the second season, no, after the first season, they did and they went to the CW network, and that lasted until 6 seasons. 2002, I think. Oh, I see. I like it when you're talking about Superman. I'll be right back to get the tissue. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and that lasted 6 seasons. Then they did a spin-off of that, Superman. No wait, Superman, the Man of Steel, with Henry Cavill. That came out before the Supergirl series. Yeah, and then they did Superman and Lois. That was a spin-off from the Supergirl TV series with Tyler Hoechlin and Elizabeth Tulloch. Oh, your nose is running. Well, you better go catch it. um, Superman 2, yeah, that lasted for four seasons, I think. Yeah, I think so. I got that whole series on DVD too, the whole series. And then in 2025, they did the Superman movie. They decided to revamp the uh, Superman universe, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I went through the whole Superman history of Superman. Yeah, the Fleischer cartoons, from the Fleischer cartoons to the Superman movie from last year. Yeah, and then they did All Star Superman. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Superman animated series, and from 1996 to 2000. And I think that's pretty much it. um, if I left anything out, you can put it in the comments. Yeah, and I'll try to talk about it more. um, yeah, yeah. You all know about my history of Superman. My parents were watching Superman 3 the day I was born, right there in the living room. My mom says it was more like it was more like a bedroom than a hospital room. They had a TV, they had couches, they had chairs, and my dad says, "Could you slow it down so I can see the rest of this movie?" And my mom goes, "What about me?" "Oh, you're just having a baby." Even the doctors were watching it. They told me that. That's how I became a Superman fan, an expert too. Yeah, there are many Superman villains that I like. There's Lex Luthor, of course. There's Metello. There's Mr. Mxyzptlk. There's Brainiac. There's Bizarro. Um, oh, you're back. Um, there's Bizarro. There's Parasite. There's Livewire. Um, there's Darkseid. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, there was no Lex Luthor in the 50s TV show. Well, that's because he went after mad scientists crime lords and crime bosses and gangsters, that kind of stuff. They made it more like a gangster series instead of just a regular mumbo jumbo stuff. Yeah. Superman's wife, Lois. Lois Lane became his wife. Everybody knows that. Oh yeah, Doomsday. Yeah, I forgot about Doomsday. Yeah. Hopefully for my birthday, I'm gonna go to Metropolis again to see the Superman stuff again, which I really enjoy. Yeah, when I went in there, I felt like I died and got to heaven because everywhere I looked, it was Superman everywhere. I even took a selfie for Facebook in front of the Superman statue. That was during the pandemic back in 2001 before I moved to this apartment. Yeah, my parents wanted to do something special for me. It was my birthday then. They wanted to do something special, so they asked, do you want to go to Metropolis or do you want to go to Branson? And I go, Metropolis. And that's when my mom and dad took me to Metropolis. And yeah, I saw a lot of things. I saw a lot of cool stuff at the Superman Museum. I saw the props from the movies and the TV shows. And the merchandise and everything. Yeah. I'm a huge Superman fan. I'm a Superman expert. And I'm a Superman collector. If you see on my Instagram page, I post a lot of Superman stuff on my Instagram page. If you follow me on Instagram, that is. If not, that's okay. So, I think that's pretty much it for everybody. Yeah, I'm doing my laundry today because over the weekend it's supposed to be really bad. So I decided to do my laundry today instead of Sunday. Yeah. When I'm waiting for my laundry, that's when I usually do my live videos. Talk to my friends about what's on my mind and what I've been up to and everything. And talk about the things that I like, which is about Superman, of course. Once I get started on Superman, it's hard for me to shut up. Yeah, I went to go see the Superman movie. I wore my Superman t-shirt and my Superman hat. Yeah. And when he came on the screen, I went, "Ooh. Oh yeah, they also did a animated series about Crypto, the Super Bowl. They also did Crypto the Super Dog animated series, which I need to get. It only lasted one season, which they should have done more. Yeah. Crypto the Super Dog, Streaky the Super Cat, Bippo the Chimp, and I forgot about the horse's name. There was even a super horse. Well, Streaky belonged to Supergirl. and Crypto belonged to Supergirl, which you see at the end of the new Superman movie. That he belongs to It'll Be Snow on Saturday. Oh yeah, too. Yeah. So gosh. Yeah, Superman pajamas. Well, that's when I was little. Well, I still have Superman pajamas. I have a lot of Superman stuff. I need to collect more. A whole room full of Superman stuff. All my friends and coworkers and my family know that I'm a huge Superman fan. Because that's what I told them. I told my coworkers and my friends. My family knows all about my love for Superman and anything Superman related. The DC Comics. They asked, "Are you more into Marvel or DC?" I go, DC. So I hope everyone has a great rest of the day. Have a great week. And if you're in the areas where it's snowing, be really careful because it's going to be really dangerous over the weekend. So, yeah, I hope everyone has a great rest of the day. Have a great week. And I'll see everybody next time. Be sure to tell your friends. And, and be sure to check out my latest food reviews. Yeah. Yeah. I remember when you talked about Superman when we were in school. Of course. So I hope everyone has a great rest of the day. Be sure to check out my latest food reviews. Be sure to tell your friends. If your friends don't have a YouTube channel, be sure to show them my YouTube channel. I hope they'll like it. Yeah. Bye, everybody. See you next time.